Hjärtligt välkomna ska ni vara till Studio AIK Live. Idag så har vi Kenny Pavey i studion. Välkommen hit.
Tack så jättemycket.
How are you, Kenny?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
I'm good. It's nice to sit here with you.
Yeah, nice. We were just talking when we come in how tall you are. I don't think people realise at home how tall you are.
No, every production I'm in, I'm always sitting. So
yeah.
Never standing, but in person...
It's good. It's good that this chair goes so high.
Yeah. I'm thinking we can start with AIK FK. Because you're playing football right now, again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on about it. But somehow my arm got twisted and I'm back in it. No, it's just a long-term plan. I like the idea. I was really close to signing for FC Swamp, actually. Patrick Ekwar's team. There's a few ex-pros playing there. And I know Enrico, the old Uruguayan and Brazilian, so I'm actually friends with him. And we met after we were playing. He was a good lad, and he's been trying to get me to join. And Oshena has played for them a couple of times before. So I was on their group chat, and we was taking pictures, and he was like, "Oh, the new signing," and then this AIK thing come up, and I thought, do you know what? I like the idea of the long-term plan with it, and maybe we can help the club in the future, especially for the younger players, so they can get some senior football experience earlier. And we don't have to use all the other clubs around Stockholm, and maybe we can have a little bit more control over it. So in previous years or seasons, we've been using teams like Barcelona and Sollentuna and all this. Now we can do it ourselves, hopefully in the next few years, if we do the job.
Yeah, exactly. Well, how has the first months been with the team?
It was good. I did the first training, and I couldn't walk for a week after that. My calves felt like, I don't know, like bowling balls. They were so heavy. Next training, I think I got, what was it called, Gubbvad.
Oh, yeah.
So I had problems with my calves, mainly in the beginning.
Because you quit playing at Enskede 3-4 years ago?
Two years ago. Well, yeah, I've made a comeback, as I told you about, a little bit of a comeback. But that was just for 1.5 games.
Okay.
But yeah, apart from that, nothing, no football at all, actually, apart from a little cameo appearance with the Ladda there. Then we done like a fundraising thing. But yeah, but apart from that, nothing. So yeah, got back into it. Struggled, to be fair, with the body, but got going. Managed to make the Premier match. Yep. Just in time, which we won. Played the second game as well. Lovely bit of play, combination play. Linus passes it to me, and just before I was about to shoot, my backside, my hamstring goes, but it's right there, so I've got to finish it. So it's like I used a putt. I scored, like holding my leg and kicked it in with my leg. I scored.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I scored.
Okay, so you pulled your hamstring
and
the same
scored
second
at the
that you
same
scored.
time. Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, oh, and everyone's like, yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm in my leg, and like, so a bit of a strange one. So yeah.
So now you're in rehab.
Now I'm in rehab, yeah. Okay. Yeah, like Amy Winehouse. But yeah, so I've got, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks. But the funny thing is, talking about SC Swamp, they ended up being in our league.
Oh yeah.
So they were big competitions. So we got big fight, almost like a Serie final already in a couple of weeks. So hopefully we can get some support down there from the guys.
Yeah, because you've started well, 3 games, 9 points, 21 goals scored. Yeah, and you've scored as well.
Yeah, of course.
So it's a good start for the team.
It's so far so good, yeah. And the lads are blinding. It's really good. Anyone that's played football, even no matter what level, you cannot beat that dressing room feeling. Do you know what I mean? The banter and everything. It's so good. It was really funny. We had one training. I think we had 5 people out injured. Okay. Like went off injured, and One of the players said it was like a scene from Saving Private Ryan. You know, which everyone was like badges up. It was like, but it's good. It's blinding. And like I say, the long-term plan makes it even better. So.
Yeah. What position do you play?
Number 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's so I don't have to run back and run up. I can kind of like decide myself.
So you're a creative midfielder now?
Yeah. No, but I'll play anywhere, do you know what I mean? So, but it's fun.
Yeah. Rumor has it that you're training you don't train in your football boots, you train in your Stan Smiths. Is that correct?
True story. Yeah. Because of the calves. I don't know if you saw the pitch though. It's not the softest.
Okay.
And it's just easier to train him. I warm up in my trainers, and then and then in a match I put my boots on. So yeah. That's how we're doing it at the moment.
Yeah.
That's my technique.
Yeah. How much would you say that your style of play today is different from when you were playing for AIK?
A little bit slower. Slightly slower, I'd say. But the head is still... The mentality is still there. I think a couple of the players will vouch for that. Every now and again, there's something that ticks, and you know, I break a little bit of the tempo. I think that's how I maybe done the injury, you know. So, but still, it's fun. I love it.
How does it feel to be back in the black and yellow?
Yeah, that's always a strange feeling. Do you know what I mean? But it's a nice one. It's kind of like full circle kind of thing. So, but it's nice. And like I said, when the opportunity arose, I was like, why not? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's for a good cause. Because
before you retired officially at Enskede, you faced AIK, right? At Friends Arena.
Yeah, that was meant to be my goodbye. I felt it. Probably if I didn't play against AIK, maybe I would have carried on playing. But it just felt right that. Enskede have never played against AIK at senior level for a proper game. Maybe a friendly, but never like a league or cup game. It was at Friends Arena. The game was meant to be earlier in the season and at our ground. But it ended up being changed to the end and at Friends Arena. So I just felt it was a fitting end to my career, really. And no matter what would happen, it would be a nice way to kind of like leave, you know, National Arena, my fans, you know. So it was a nice feeling, even if we lost the game. Yeah.
How long do you think you will keep going? When you advance through the system?
No.
When will
I don't know. If you ask me now, this is my last season. But, you know, I've said that a few times. I've had more comebacks than Rocky. So we'll see.
Okay. Regardless from the football or the football aside, what's your life look like today?
Yeah, during the day I work at International English School, working with kids, the behaviour side of it. So yeah, if the kids have some issues in the classroom, the teacher calls me. I go in the classroom, I give a 2-foot tackle around the kneecaps, and then they get on with their work, basically. So, I obviously speak to them, and we have our little sisters a way of dealing with things. But I've been doing that. I got that job when I was playing in Vasalund. I needed something alongside the football because Vasalund weren't filling my pockets so much. So it was a perfect opportunity. So I've been doing it for about 6 years now. So. Okay. So it works well alongside the other stuff I do.
You enjoy it?
Yeah. It's very up and down. It's quite a demanding job, as you can imagine. It's a lot of kids this age. What are they, 10 to 16? So it's that period there where they're going through a lot of changes, and you know the dynamics of the area and everything like that. It's interesting.
But you don't want to work with football, or?
So I was coaching at Enskede for 4 years, 2 years with the under-18s and then 2 years with the senior team. Loved it, loved being there, but I just felt that it was taking up a lot of time. I DJ as well. I've got my 2 kids. So I just wanted to just take a break. AIK, bless them. I love that club. Amazing club. A lot of potential. They tried everything to say, we can do this, we can do that. But I just felt, give me 1 year, let me take a year off, see how everything else goes. And then I can always go back, whether it's AIK or another team, it doesn't matter, you know. So great experience, but I just needed to take a step back for a little bit.
Okay. What kind of music do you play? When you DJ?
Oh, when I DJ, yeah, like all different types of house, really. Obviously, depending on the event, if it's private events, then I get an idea what they want and stuff. But mainly the stuff I play is all different types of house: soulful, funky, disco, the Latin, Afro, whatever. It's all different type, deep. It's all different type of house.
You do house and then you sneak in OV AIK and then you play some more.
Tried it a couple of times. Tried it a couple of times. Yeah, a few heads turn.
Yeah.
That normally is a request that people ask.
Oh, it is.
But yeah, but I want to keep the job, so if I do that, then it can get a little bit,
I understand. Well, Kenny, let's go more into to AIK and your career at AIK. Just to begin with, what does AIK mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was life-changing, really. I was in Young Chile for many years. I did really well in Young Chile, and for some reason, no one around the area, Gothenburg or guys who used to play against Häcken, no one was coming in for whatever reason. And then I was fortunate enough that AIK, for me, AIK went down to Superetta, so I got a chance to play against them. First game at Rosunda was just like a dream, Like I never thought I'd play in that arena. I'd seen it on TV, Champions League and all that kind of stuff. So to play there was a big moment for myself. I had probably my best game of the season. Just the atmosphere, everything. It's what you want to do, what you want to be involved in as a player, It was the biggest attendance I played in at that moment, and I just thrived on it. Some people go into the shell, and I just grew. And I've told the story a few times, but I remember killing Christian Heinz and everyone booing me, and blah, blah, and it just, I was like, I love it.
I want these people also to love me one day.
Yeah. I never thought of it at the time.
No.
I thought I'd love to play here.
Yeah.
But I always thank Rickard, Stefan Söderberg, Nesh for bringing me there, and it was a life changing. It was the first time I felt like a professional football player.
Okay.
We had a fantastic first season. Coming, what was it, 1 point off of winning the league 2006 from Elfsborg.
Yeah, really close. Yeah.
After coming up from Superetta, on a small budget. So a lot of Superetta players, all mixed together with a good mix of homegrown talent and some Allsvenska quality players, So, and then obviously the love that I got from the very start was fantastic, and it made life very easy, for me there. And obviously my family followed the journey with me, so obviously it's a big part of us as a family as well. So
yeah, because you've been to a few clubs, but it feels like AIK is the most
it's like it doesn't matter where I go, I'm always, the AIK tag is always there. I've played many years in Young Chile. I mean, I think, what was it, 8 years I played in AIK, over 2 different separate I played in Young Chile, I played in Usta, and some teams, Vasalund and Siriska and these teams, but AIK seems to be the one that everyone tags me with, but AIK was also my best moments with AIK. So it's priceless, what I achieved with the club. So.
I'm thinking that we're going to look at some of those moments. So let's look at some highlights.
Not when I'm sitting on a bench at the end, is it?
No, it is not. It's when you're playing. Let's look at some highlights from Kenny's career at AIK.
Här är det Åbolo som fastnar på Vincent. Figueredo hittar inte Kenny Pavey, han har fri gata fram. Där kommer skottet, 2-0 AIK.
Som får göra det. Ordnar det som förmodligen blir ett SM-guld.
Bollen går mot Lorentzon som tar med sig bollen fint och lyfter fram bollen bra och i mål. Kenny Pavey. Lite för startslagen från Pavey jagar där nere och oj. Han är väl ivrig, Kenny Pavey.
Här är situationen Mattias Jonsson. Det är sparken som kommer där. Den är lackare sorten och det är ett rött kort av Jonas Eriksson. Spel istället. Bra ut av Flavio. Lyfter Marcus Jonsson och styrning från Åbolo och returen i mål! Kenny Pavey som kommer in precis efter bara en minut så gör han målet.
Nämligen lägger in den här bollen. Här är Pavey då bakom och nickar bollen.
Yeah, lots of memories. We were talking about the different ones. Here, the goal against Hammarby, where you jumped up on the fence and you hurt your hand.
Yeah, still got no scar. It was I didn't feel it, but I always remember that one because it was funny because Jorge Ortiz, his English weren't the best. And I don't know, back then I had a bit of hair. So I must have tried to move my hair out of the way or something, but didn't realise I'd cut my hand. So I'd done that, and because I'd done that, there was blood on my face.
Okay.
So and it was, packed arena, so it's and I was just like, if that stand weren't there, I would have ended up in, I don't know, here in the studio. I would have he kept on running. But he's going to me, okay? And I'm going, yeah, good. He's going, okay? He's pointing at my head, and I'm thinking, he thinks I've lost it, because my head's come off, But then I realised, and I was like, oh, no. So I wiped it off, because you have to go off otherwise.
Yeah.
And then, so there's a nice picture at the final whistle when there's the blood there. I've got a lovely double-page spread, I don't know if it's Aftonbladet or something, when I'm standing up there. And the best thing about the picture is that you can see everyone's facial expressions of the fans, you know what I mean? And it's just different emotions, you know what I mean? It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So that was a nice moment, of course. And an important one because they were struggling to, we basically kicked them down. Yep. And
you were going for the...
We needed that. We was on that for the title, yeah.
What do you remember more from these games? We saw the kick there at Mattias Jonsson in the derby against Djurgården.
Yeah, I was just frustrated because we were playing terrible, and I was on the bench and we were losing and nothing was happening. There was no fight. And I had the tendency when I played in AIK or most teams to kind of there was always carnage when I was playing. Something was always about to happen. There was a bit of energy or something, whether it's a tackle or something, or a sprint or whatever. And I just felt that I needed to liven the players up. They needed to wake up. So that was the second tackle. There was another one where I was just like, come on, lift yourselves. And we did. We got back into the game, energy-wise, and we created a lot more, but that was one of the things that I felt it was almost like my role in the team to give that energy to the players, and no matter how or what I did, I had to lift them. And obviously, looking at it, it's I feel a little bit bad for it, but at the same time, fuck it.
Because you have been defined by your energy a lot and your style of play. We saw some images of that as well. But we saw some good goals as well, and your right foot. Do Do you feel that you've sometimes been underestimated as a football player?
Yeah, but you're always going to get that, you know. I think I remember another derby against Hammarby. I think I made 2 assists during the game. One really good cross, half volley cross, and the other one. And then the day after, in the newspaper, they're talking about a tackle and you know the linesman, you know, and all this. So, but. You know, like I said, I think I got voted the dirtiest player in the league 2009, and like I said, you know, it's like I've got an advantage over you. If you're worried about me, I'm not worried about you. I'm just out there to win a game of football. Do you know what I mean? And if you're thinking when me and you are coming into a tackle, you're thinking, oh, it's him. I've already won over you. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, of course, you know, people are gonna. That's what I created myself from my playing style. That's it, you know. So
it didn't frustrate you, or
sometimes, of course, because like you say, like you know, I'd crossing the ball, whipping balls in, creating chances, runs behind, you know. I mean, I wasn't a dribbler. I was more of a powerful, you know. Hit and run kind of a player. When I come to AIK, I was a little bit more technical, maybe in Young Sheely, a little bit more tricky. But I had a coach there, David Wilson, was like, you don't need to do that. No. At the end of the day, you need to get that ball in the box because that's your strength, you're crossing. You've got speed, you've got good crossing. So if they drop off, put it in early. If they come up, use your speed to go past them and put it in. So I changed my game to that to be a little bit more direct. And it suited AIK at the time. Yeah.
So when you look back at your career in the big picture, what is the biggest highlight? What do you remember the most?
I mean, it's easy. The double winning season. Yep. It was just from the get go, from the training leg that we had. We went to South Africa. We went out there and we had so many good guys in the team. It was ridiculous. I've played in many teams and always good lads, you know, in different teams, but we had so many in that team, so many characters. And I think the word is overused sometimes, but certain things that we went through that season, I don't think we would have made it if we didn't have the same character in the team as we had in the team. We went to South Africa, we played a training match amongst ourselves. We didn't play against any other teams. I mean, half of us, I remember going great white cage diving, do you know what I mean? I saw a video on YouTube afterwards where the shark got in the tank. If I would have known that before, I think I would have swerved that trip, you know? But yeah, there was a few extra bubbles in that water that day, I can tell you that. But anyway, so we did that, we come back, I think we went to Marbella, played against some Russian team or something, we did well against them, come back, played the first training game at Rosendal on grass. I think we played someone like Sundsvall or something, we battered them like 5-0 or something. And then we won the Premier against Hampstead, which, you know, the Premier is always like the big hype, all the fans, everyone's blah, blah, and then boom, a draw or a loss or blah, blah, blah. But we won it. And then we went away to play against the former champions, Kalmar. We beat them away. So it was like the momentum was straight away. And you was like, hang on a minute, maybe this is something. And it just went from strength to strength. And I mean, I will find it hard. I don't know so much about Allsvenska history, but the fact that the two teams are going to play against each other on the last game of the season with such fan bases as well, two big fan base clubs. Gothenburg never lost at home all season. AIK very strong away. 1-0 down at half time. They're done. Do you know what I mean? I remember them walking off the pitch, and the Gothenburg players, and like, you know, they thought they had it, you know, because they're not felt this all season. That's their ground, they won it. And for us to not just draw, because a draw would have been enough, for us to actually win the game, just put the cherry on top, do you know what I mean? And then that trip home was just bananas. Do you know what I mean? So.
What do you remember? Because we all know Martin Mutumba and his story with the tattoo, and he's seeing that people saying that it was awful at halftime when he read his text. What do you remember from halftime? What was your emotions and thoughts?
Yeah, if I'm honest with you, frustration. We wasn't playing as a team nowhere near how we have been all season. We looked nervous, lack of energy, stressed. Maybe the occasion, I don't know what it was. We were playing against a good team, don't forget, as well. But yeah, I was looking around the change room, and it looked like a little bit of nerves. It looked like a little bit of disappointment. So whether the players were thinking, okay, I need to step it up or not, I don't know. But we did, and that was the main thing. And I remember coming on with Shena and just saying to him, let's go and fucking win this now. And I think our job was just to kill the game. Do you know what I mean? A bit of experience, kill the game, blah, blah, blah. And obviously, like, we both ended up being part of the winning goal. So it was amazing.
Because you said that there were so many different characters that make everything work. Was that close to being a problem, that there were so many different characters in the team? So many different wills?
You have to give credit to Mickey Starry.
Okay.
He was unbelievable man management. Unbelievable. One of the best I've ever been involved in. He, if you think about it, the last 3 games, he had people coming off the bench to score match-winning goals. Me, Gabriel Oskan, Daniel Sandström. You only get that when you've got that good camaraderie in the team, that people, that someone's going to come off the bench and go, yes, boss, I'm going to go out, I'm going to do it for the team, for myself, for everyone. Do you know what I mean? That don't happen just by chance. No. I had my 30th birthday that year, and we played against Kalmar at home, and I was having a party after the game. Was going to have a party. Everyone was coming to mine. The whole squad come to mine, and then we was going to go out afterwards, right? And Mickey heard about this, but we normally have like a warm down session the day after, and this is how good his man management was. He changed the morning session to an afternoon session because he knew
you needed that.
He knew we probably needed it. Do you know what I mean? We were doing well in the league. Everyone was turning up. Everyone was doing everything like that. But what that did for us players, it just made us want to do whatever he said, whatever he did. He was like, that's respect. Do you know what I mean? He felt us. You know what I mean? He was a man's man, and that went so far for us. I don't think anybody complained. No one was happy when they were on the bench. No. You shouldn't be playing football if you are. No. But the fact that happened the last 3 games says a lot about him as a manager. And with all them different characters, I mean, it was a very, very special team. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. A laugh a minute. Yeah. And you needed someone to steer that ship in the right way. I think maybe if we would have had someone that was too strict, it would have gone the other way. If someone that was too soft, it would have gone that way. But he had the perfect balance where he had us engaged, the competition for every place. I mean, we had 2 players in every position that could play, do you know what I mean? We had and a lot of youngsters coming up also, do you know what I mean? So it was, that's how we dealt with all the characters, I think.
Are you still in contact with any of the players from that time?
Yeah, Josh I speak to every now and again. He's just had his 40th birthday, as you know. Martin, I work with Josip Saleh. I got him a job with me at the school. Bojan, Shena. I see Nissi every now and again because he's coaching in AIK. So yeah, I see a few of the guys. Yeah.
So the first spell at AIK for you was between 2006 and 2011. Yep. And then you returned 2014. Yeah. For a year. Yeah. We've been into like the first spell, but tell us about the second one from your point of view. Extremely
frustrating. I was very frustrated to leave in the beginning. Okay. So it it was a...
You wanted to stay, but you...
Yeah, of course. But
leave, yeah.
I don't think you leave AIK for young sheep.
You never know.
When I was away, you know, I just felt I was frustrated because I missed out on some really big. I missed out on the European thing. That was gutting for me to watch, you know. And then also had to move away from my family. I didn't want to move my family to Ljungskile because I didn't know how long they were going to be there. And then I moved to Ystad, back in the Allsvenska, and I didn't want to move them there because I didn't see myself living down there, you know. Kids were at school. Let's just keep Stockholm is the base.
The family was still in Stockholm?
Yeah, so I was going up and down, blah, blah. So when I heard that AIK were interested in me coming back, you know, it was like a mixed emotions. I was like, so many positives, but at the same time I was thinking about them 2 years that I missed. I had... I think I made it. I think I'm the most...
So you're still a bit disappointed in the club?
Not so much the club, but yeah.
Okay.
But
some people that made you leave.
I think I'm still so that's fine. Yeah. I think I'm still the player the international player that's got the most appearances for AIK.
Okay.
But I wanted to really get a lot more appearances, so I feel I missed out on 2 seasons there. And then when I come back, you know, in my head I still wanted to play all the time. You know, I was told that maybe I need to, you know, be where it's a different role now. But I come from Ystad where I had a really good season. I come in fit, ready, and I think when you get to a certain age, it's important that you play a lot of minutes. You've got to keep the engine ticking. And it was difficult for the body to be on a bench and come in 12 minutes and then 30 minutes and then maybe start one game and then off again. And it was all like this. So it was a little bit frustrating, but at the same time, it was amazing to be back in the club. Some great results. I never thought I'd be wearing a shirt I never thought I'd be playing at Friends Arena.
No, okay. Yeah, because you left when they were still at Rosunda.
We were just moving into Friends Arena. I even went around there looking at all the plays, you know, and then I ended up leaving. And then obviously went down to Superettan, and that was a risk. Would I be able to get back to Allsvenskan again? I did well in Ljungskile, Allsvenskan with Ystad, and then back to AIK. So that was all amazing, and it was nice to be back. I was back with the family and my family. Do you know what I mean? As the club, so it all felt great to be back. You know.
And then you left. 2015. Yeah,
didn't get a contract extension, and then went to Assyriska, where that was also an interesting experience. Yeah. I scored on my debut, come on and scored an assist against Dalkurd, which was pretty amazing experience. But yeah. Superettan, so it weren't quite the same feeling in the matches.
Yeah, but so your family chose to stay in Stockholm. Have you ever thought about moving back to England, or has it always been? I did when I stopped playing for, I think Assyriska. I spoke to my ex if it was something that we should go back, you know, so we get a little bit more support from our families. But it wasn't the right time then, and then the kids were a little bit too old to go back with school and everything. So we're still here. I'm extremely happy to be here. I love Stockholm. I love Sweden. We were going to do it in Swedish, weren't we? But I said, I'm like stiff as a board when I speak Swedish, so it's better. We'd better be doing English. But if you come back in 5 years, we'll do it in Swedish.
Yeah. I've been here a while, mate. I've been here a while, and I'm still so.
That is true. You have been here for a while.
Länge.
Yeah, exactly. But how much would you say that football has changed during your career? From when you started to when you retired? Or you're still playing?
Yeah, still, yeah, if you call it that. I think it's changed a lot. I think it's become a little bit more tactical. I think even going back to when we won 2009, tactic-wise, I don't think we did that much. I mean, we saw weaknesses in teams and we played on their weaknesses and, you know, certain maybe build-ups. I think Rickard was maybe a little bit more ahead of his time. Mickey was more of a, okay, you know, never share, so share.
Yeah.
And I think now the amount of teams, when I watch Allsvenskan, I mean, it's good quality. I think it's a little bit too much possession. I think you know, we've been watching these amazing teams out in Europe. Your Barcelona, Man City's, Arsenal's doing the tiki-taki and the possession play, and that's fine up until a certain point. You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes it suits teams, sometimes it don't, and that can be frustrating to watch the football because the quality is not that we have in the rest of Europe in the Allsvenskan. It's not beat around the bush. So when you see this slow movement passes, you know, people want more. You know, so but it has changed a lot. I think youngsters are getting much more chances now, which is a great thing. I believe that it doesn't matter how old you are, it's if you can deliver, you know, and if you can stand up to it, that's the main thing. I think when I was growing up, I don't think there was many 18-year-olds getting chance in first team football. No. You had to be something special. I think now it's more the business side, get them in, get them out sort of thing, which I understand as well, you know what I mean? So I think it's become more of a business now than a sport, but I mean, still love it.
Yeah. How much do you miss playing at top level?
Oh yeah, but I mean, like I said, when you see some of them highlights, you know, just the stadiums, the crowd, I love having banter with the crowd, winding them up, then winding me up, you know, it's hearing the songs. It's, like I said, it's priceless, you know. If I could put it all in a bottle and just put a lid on it and every now and again have a little sip, a little smell, it'd be, you know, it'd be nice.
Yeah, because you had a special song from the fans as well.
I had a couple of songs. There was one special one. Yeah. But,
started with "You're the Love of My Life."
Yeah.
And then it followed.
Yeah, then it followed. Yeah. But yeah, that was funny. The first song was Uster Away. It was my first start. I scored. We won 4-1, 2006. And after the goal, I ran off back to the halfway line to the kickoff, and they started singing this. Was it Salt and Pepper?
Okay.
Ooh, kitty baby. And I was 5 minutes. I swear, I was laughing. I just couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny, like, you know. And then obviously the one Kenny Pavey, and then this one was...
Yeah, you have a few, yeah.
Was really special. This one was really special. I think we were doing a kit launch for the new jersey, and then the people that were invited started singing it. I just kind of looked at Shenna and I was just like, oh my God. And of course you got the kids running around singing it, you know, at home. It's like, oh my God, something's not right here.
Well, we're not done yet. We're going to keep talking. We're just going to have a short break.
Yeah.
And we'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Perfect.
Ett av Nordens största fotbollslag. En av världens största appar. Båda från Stockholm. Båda med större ambitioner. Från Stockholm till världen.
All right, we're back, and we're going to talk more about AIK today and what you think of the team. It's been a tough season so far. After 7 games, AIK has 5 points. What are your thoughts on this season so far?
Yeah, obviously it's disappointing. We can't get around it. I don't think anyone, players, staff or fans can be it's too positive about the way it started. There's a long way to go, of course, but I think the most important thing is as a club, we need to stick together. There's other clubs that are also going through transitions. I think that's what it is. I think we're lacking a bit of consistency, and also the transition period that we're going through is a mix between them two things. Been a bit unlucky as well with certain players being injured at certain times. And I don't think the manager's had his chance to really implement what he wants to do with the team because of these reasons. So it's really important that we stick together and be positive, even though it's tough. You know? I've been there.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about that. But what, like, more playing-wise, what do you see as a former player, and also you've also coached?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've you know, the system that he played in Melby, I mean, it worked for them, and I think we got the players to play the 5. If we do it in a positive way, with our fullbacks that we've got. I mean, we've got really quality. I really like them.
Modesto.
Really like Modesto. Oteno, I played with at AIK, so I played with both of them at Vasalund.
Oh yeah.
So I know their qualities. So especially offensive. I'm not sure if he's worried about the defensive side, which is why we're playing a 5. I'm not sure. But a 5 seems a little bit more negative. But when we won with Rickard, we played with a 5, and it was very offensive with our fullbacks. Our fullbacks were higher than our midfielders. So it's a proof that it can be positive offensively, you know. And we definitely have the personnel to do that. What we have to also remember is we've lost some real key players in certain areas, both on the pitch and off the pitch. I have to mention Sebastian Larsson. I don't think people realise how important that guy was for the team. If I didn't watch the game and I looked on Tech TV and I asked how the AIK scored, it was often Sebi was involved. It was rather a corner, a free kick, a winning the ball, pass through, a hockey assist or something like that. He was so vital for the team. I mean, in the end, he was even doing long throws. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
I mean, they were literally squeezing every single thing out of him. I mean, that right foot, you don't play Premier League and score that many goals if you haven't got that quality. And it's very hard to replace someone like that. And I think the people that are brought in to replace him just haven't got going yet. And once they get going, I think they have the quality. But that's what I mean with the manager having a little bit of bad luck with certain players at certain times. But the fact that Sebi was so important, it was always going to be difficult. On top of that, you got Nabil, you got Lustig, Patan. Patan weren't that player who's in the change room and on a field, but still routine. Do you know what I mean? Knew the club inside out. We've got more than enough players. We got more than a capable squad. I promise you. If everyone's on their game, there's a clear lack of confidence, and I think because the manager hasn't quite got his team right yet, it's hard for him to show how the team is actually going to play, and it's affecting the results, of course. And from outside, when you watch the games, it looks like we're not quite sure what type of team we are. When you look at your Malmö's, Norrköping, even BP, you know what sort of team they are. You know what I mean? We're not quite there yet. And I think players are still trying to find their feet. It's a lot of changes. It's a mix. And like I said, Allsvenskan is not easy. Even if you go away to your Varnamos, you have to roll your sleeves up. So I think we need to go back to the basics. I think we need to get a team out there and play a team regular. And then once we get that going and the chemistry going, I think the results will start to change. And then I think, for example, I have to bring up Dormaz and John, especially because they're experienced players. They haven't got going yet, which means, because of their injuries, which means that I think it's hard for them to really lift the players when they're in and out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's something that Sebi could do because he was playing regular. Yeah. I think when them two start playing regular and get themselves fit, they're going to be so important for the team. Yeah. You got Alex at the back, who's been there with the club through thick and thin, so he knows. Sotte next to him, Norfeldt at the back. You know, these are international players, so the quality is there. You know, and when you look on paper, you think, why are we not performing? So I think it's a number of different things. But I think the most important thing is that we stick together. I don't think we should start throwing people under the bus. Let them deal with that internally and go back to basics. And like I said, sometimes it's not all about ticky-tacky. It's not all about, we need to know. We got two really good fullbacks, or a couple of really good fullbacks. I see many times they're looking to put crosses in, but there's no one in the box. So they're turning back and we're trying to play. Sometimes we need to be a bit more direct because we need to test the defenders. Other teams are testing us and they're getting the luck, you know, sometimes. So,
because you have been through ups and downs with AIK during your time at AIK as well. How did you deal with it when times were?
Yeah, I mean,
bad?
I think we were quite lucky during my time there that we was always there or thereabouts at the top. But 2010 was a nightmare. I believe I still get a little bit disappointed with how we reacted once we won the gold. I think we were like, we've done it. We won a double, triple if you like, with the Super Club. But we won a double. We had a fantastic team. We went all that way down to Superetta. We built it all up again. We got everybody back together. We got a playing style. We knew what we were. We had a good mix between players from abroad and homegrown players. We had that spine. And then it's like a reset button. We went all the way back again. Yeah. And we could have easily gone down, easily. Yeah. I mean, in the end, I think 2-3 games before the end, we were safe. But there was a period there where it was an absolute nightmare. We basically lost the spine of our team, from the goalkeeper to the striker and everything in between. So it meant people had to step up. And we had some of the youngsters, Victor Lumbe, Backman, Danielson, Kevin, that had to step up, and it was hard for them. Emblem, it was difficult for them, you know. We had Flavio. I mean, I remember we had a really bad pitch in the beginning of the season. And I think Flavio was the only one that was comfortable on it because it looked like Copacabana Beach, didn't it? You know, but you know that didn't help us. But at the end of the day, we lost so many players. But as fans, that's gone out the window. Yeah. You see results. You're there. You've got the AIK shirt on. You got to deliver. And it's all well and good when it's going good. You know, it's easy to play football when it's going good. It's when it goes bad, that's when the true character shines. Yeah. And that team, in the end, showed more character, actually, than the team the year before that won the double. Because we were left with scraps, like scraps. And we managed to get out of it. And the year after, with pretty much the same team, we come second. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So the character building in that 2010 team, we had to go through rough storms. We had fans coming to the training, demand, you know, pull your fingers out and all this, you know, and you know, we just had to deal with it. And like I said, you can hide or you can step up and say, okay. And we went back to basics with what was his name? Miller. Yeah. He come in with, you know, I think we got a little bit oh, you know, we've won a double, like we just have to put our shoes out there, we're going to get results. And everyone wanted to beat us. Everyone always wants to beat us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're everyone's biggest game, as we said. And he come in and just steadied the ship a little bit, went back to basics, and you know, we managed to get out of it somehow. Yeah.
So what would you say to the players before the game now on Monday against Göteborg, if you were the coach or if you were in the dressing room, just to...
Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. Remember why you're here. Remember why AIK signed you in the beginning. You know, there ain't no one there that's been signed because AIK thought they were a bad player. They're there because AIK feel that they're going to be good enough to get the team up the table and where they belong. And going out there and using the skills and qualities that you have collectively, not as individuals, collectively, will get you out of this mess. But if you go out there and start playing as individuals and nervous and, you know, not playing your normal game, then of course it's going to spread like through the team, and then the results are not going to happen. No. So it's really important that they stick together. I remember seeing, I know Hernok has used to take the guys when he was playing to O'Leary's Champions League night and all that, and it would be like, you know, the whole club, not whole club, whole team would be there watching it. Do you know what I mean? That's how you build camaraderie. You know, it's about sticking together. And then standing up and fighting, because right now everybody's enjoying what they see outside of AIK. You know what I mean? And we gotta understand that. So sticking together is the main thing, and I think going back to basics. Yeah.
So we have a few questions from the AIK supporters, and we can start by asking this one. Brännan Boys is the name of the account. How much do you miss Råsunda?
Oof. Wow. Yeah, like I said, even before I was there, it was a bad game, but it was England against Sweden. I remember Brolin scoring that amazing goal and doing that silly spin in the air.
92.
92. Oh, you know it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I remember Gary Lineker. I think it was Gary Lineker's last game, walking off. So, but I remember the stadium. I remember seeing that tight and packed. It's like an old throwback stadium. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you can almost smell the breath of the fans, but on your neck. And I was like, I'd love to play there one day. Look at that. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, the first time I played against AIK or playing in that arena, I think there was maybe 12,000 people there. But for me, it was like playing at Wembley. You know, it was amazing. And then nothing beats a packed arena on Derby night. You know, at Råsunda, it was just fantastic. That smell of the smoke, you know, and the tifo and the grass. It was just fantastic, fantastic. I miss it a lot, as you can maybe.
Yeah, I hear that, and I enjoy hearing you talk about it. Ställ också frågor i appen för er som tittar live nu också, så tar vi in dem också. We have a question here from Logic. Best manager that you've had?
Oh, that is a good question. Yeah, it's a mix between Rickard and mycket for me. Totally different managers, I would say, and it was quite funny because they worked together. Mycket, when I come, was the third coach. I think Rickard was more tactical. Wanted you to play in every situation. You know, you almost got frustrated if you was down in your own area and you just kicked it away. It was almost frustration from him. Like I said, he was ahead of his time, I think. He wanted to play out of every situation, suck teams in, open up spaces, and then go direct.
Okay,
I think that goal against Malmo that I scored is a great example of that. Suck them in, open up spaces, up, back, switch, you know. So tactical-wise and man management has to go to mycket. And it's the manager I got the most success for. So it's really hard to split between them two because one gave me the chance and the other one gave me my best memory. So
it's a mix.
It's a mix between them two.
Yeah. We have a question from David Nilsson here. When do we see Kenny's son in the first team?
Oof.
Not to put any pressure on your son.
No.
You have a son that plays for AIK.
Yeah. Charlie. He's doing well so far. So we'll see. Like you said, no pressure.
Yeah.
I was with him yesterday in the district team. So he's going that route. And we'll see. He's playing with the P17s at the moment. But he's still young. He's turning 15 in June. So
must be fun for you to have the football.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I think he was too young really when it was all happening. When we lift the cup, Swedish Cup, he was in my arms. So in the pictures, he's actually in my arm. But he just used to love running on the pitch after with all the kids, you know, and kicking the ball. I think he was on Aftonbladet doing an overhead kick in front of Norda store at Rosenda. So he claims that he scored at Rosenda. So I'll give him that one.
Okay.
But we'll see. Like I said, no pressure. Just keep enjoying your football, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Best player that you've played with at AIK?
I'm not sure the fans are going to like this so much, but Wilton, when I first come, that first 1.5 seasons that he was there before he went to Qatar, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, because was that before he went to Malmö? Or,
yeah. He went to Qatar and then Malmö after that. He got a lot of stick for that, but I think a lot of people will agree that when he was at AIK and he was on his game, I mean, he was a special player. Score goal out of anything, strong, could dribble. I think Ivan Obolo was probably the player that was the most important to any team, along with because we could do so many things with Ivan. You could play it up to him and he could win it in the header, you could play into his body, you could play it even in the space behind. He was clever enough, even though he weren't fast. He's almost like a Argentinian Teddy Sheringham. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean with that?
Yeah, I think I understand.
Yeah. Obolo had much better hair.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, running into spaces, I don't think he missed a game. He played every game. He was a fantastic player, could score long-distance goals like the one he scored against Djurgården.
Yeah, against Djurgården,
so amazing players. But I was privileged to play with a lot of really good players, but I'd say maybe them two stood out most. I think Celso Borges as well, when he was, before he went to the World Cup, was pretty good.
Yeah. Teammate that you spent most time with?
It would probably be between Josh Højfeldt, Josh Mutumba and Bojan. I would say over my times I still have contact with them. And obviously I played with Jussi Salo for I think for a year or so, and I work with him, so I get to see him a lot. But they were probably the ones I hanged out with most. And then Robert Allman person as well. I still hang around with Robert. Robert a lot as well. So yeah.
All right. Well, Kenny, I think we're.
Tjänsten.
Yeah. You spent a lot of time with.
When I can get him out.
So that was. Why you were close with everyone, like you said that the team was really close.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
you know.
Okay, we have a question from Dennis Wiklund here in the app. Who's the most underrated player that you play with in AIK?
Good one.
Tough question. It's a good one. It's one
Very
of those
good one.
where you need to think.
Most underrated player. Maybe Helge Danielsson.
Oh yeah.
I think they rated him. I think they liked him.
But he did not get the big.
No, but
headlines.
he was so important. You know, he did that balance role really well. Remember the man marking he did on... we played Häcken away in that 2010. He did a man marking on unik.
Oh, yeah,
who was a monster in the air. And I think Helgi won every header. So, and that was their game plan, was play up to him and him win the headers. And Helgi took him out of the game. So, and we won the game. 1-0. Victor Lumbe, Kenny Pavey assist.
Good way to finish this episode of Studio AIK. But Kenny, nice having you here. Nice talking to you. And good luck now with the season, and hope you recover from your good blood.
Yeah. No problem.
When will you be
No,
back?
it's a hamstring.
Oh, you're hamstring now.
Yeah. So
when do we expect you to be back?
Give me a couple of weeks.
Okay.
It's a fiddle.
Good. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Och tack till alla som har tittat. Vi är tillbaka med ett nytt avsnitt nästa vecka. På återseende.